guys, so I picked up this e-scooter on Amazon. This one here is supposed to do about 50 miles an hour. Excuse me. I looked at some of the reviews on it, and most people were pretty impressed with the power and speed of it. They said there was some stabilization problems, I guess, at high speeds, which I guess should be expected considering this is a smaller scooter, but at the same time, it's heavy. So I'm not particularly sure of the weight. I think I'll put it up in the clip now of how much it actually weighs. But I actually used a dolly to get this from the front porch into the garage because I just got back from the gym and I'm not small, and this thing was a bear just to, you know, pick up and put on the dolly. So originally I picked this up to actually collapse it and put it in and out of my truck just in case I go somewhere and I want to get it in and out. But if this is the total weight without the packaging and stuff like that, if this is the total weight of the unit, it's going to be a struggle to pull this in and out of the bed of the truck when I want to use it. So I might have to look at almost like a bicycle rack type, like a beefy bicycle rack that goes into the post that I use on my trailer hitch receiver, something to that effect, because I don't know if I want to keep, you know, lifting this thing in and out of the back of the truck the way it stands right now. So let's start opening it and taking a peek at it, and then we'll go over the brand name and everything as we go. But so basically, this is like the new thing now. They tape these straps, so I guess they don't get caught on stuff. So the box looks like it's in really good shape, and this came within 2 days. So that's one reason why I did pick it up, as far as there was other ones that were pretty similar, at least one more that was pretty similar to this, but it was going to be like over like a week to get. This one here came in 2 days, and I was shocked because it didn't show it being leaving the facility. It didn't show it until like yesterday or today. It arrived in Jupiter. I live in Hope Sound, and this thing actually made it, because I was almost going to say I'm going to cancel it if that's the case, and I was going to buy something used on YouTube, not YouTube, but on Facebook Marketplace, because I seen that there was used ones, but I really didn't want a used one. I wanted one that was actually brand new, that wasn't messed around with, so I know everything about it. So the cost of this one, I think, was over, after taxes, it was over $1,500. I think it was $14 and change original price, and I'll put that in the description now too. And after taxes and stuff like that, it's, you know, it's up there. So it's not a cheap little scooter. Grab the camera so you can actually see what's going on here. So basically you can see how it's just styrofoam in here. I mean, it's packaged really well, but all the weight is actually coming from the scooter. There's no additional weight coming from anything else, because this box and these little styrofoam things is not causing any weight. So this is one heavy ass scooter. So I don't think I have to rip any of the other portion of the box apart. You can pretty much see everything. Should be able to come out nice and easy now that I just cut that front flap off. So if you pick one up, this is probably the best way to do it. This video might get cut short, and I might have to take over because there's going to be a vehicle pulling in this garage. I'm trying to do everything as quickly as possible, but trying to see if there's any loose pieces I can take out first. I don't know the best way of doing this. little Allen wrench key set. It's kind of nice. It gives you, looks like some little sticky devices or whatever. I don't know. Until I stop putting this thing together. But pretty nice pouch. I don't know if this this probably mounts onto the scooter somewhere. So I'm assuming for like carrying stuff maybe. Honestly, did I need a scooter that's over $1,500? No. Did I want to get something that I actually have speed if I wanted to? Yes. So, unfortunately, until these prices on these scooters come down for the high wattage ones, you're pretty much stuck at, you know, the electric bikes, the e-bikes and stuff like that. You're going to pay $6,000 or something for something that goes 50 miles an hour. So, I mean, yeah, you could probably build one cheaper or whatever, but to get that type of speed, this has dual motors on it. I'm not sure if it has dual batteries or not, but I know it has dual motors. Okay, so unfortunately there's a vehicle here now, so my area just got tighter. So I'm gonna still try to do this because I'm not sure if the battery comes charged or not, but I'm gonna try to get whatever I can done in this tight working space. And then outside we have unfortunately the lawn crew is out there, so you won't be able to hear anything if I step outside with it. Careful when you use these razor blades, they don't cut into anything you're not supposed to cut into. There's a seat. Not sure if I'm really going to use the seat that much, but it is a nice option to have the seat. Just in case you want to, because with the power of this, I'm assuming you could actually pull two people on it, which I'm sure, you know, you figure out one person could be sitting and the other person could be actually standing up. You probably have their ass in your face, but it is what it is. So, yeah, not a lot of room right now to do anything, but little by little, we'll get it out. So this is some kind of support. So it comes with a phone holder, as you can see here, which is a nice feature. I'm not sure if this is a cheesy one or not. It might have to be upgraded later on, but at least it comes with something. I'm not sure what size phone fits in here. I got the S24 Ultra, which is a pretty big phone. And some of the cases or some of the phone holders, they need to be specific for a big size phone. So that might not even work for my phone. Yeah, very good job packaging this thing. It doesn't appear that it would have any damage at this point. My big thing is the battery charger. I would like to get that at least charging. I'll have to figure out what portion the battery charger's in. And it could actually be in that thing that I opened up before, but I don't know. It's always a good idea to check on these foam pieces to make sure they don't have anything trapped. Like sometimes they stick items in them. So if you're going to pour your foam out, there might be a tool or something important that's in the foam. I don't see that right now. I'm trying to figure out how you unlock this thing. This will open up. Ouch. Nice. Alright. So that opens up. And I do not want this falling into my $16,000 jet ski, so I have to be careful here. Alright, so it looks like the batteries, this looks like the charger, and that's probably the battery, so we're getting to the important stuff now. These are probably directionals or something, I don't know yet. Need this right now. Yeah, this says charger on it, so this is something I'm definitely going to be looking for. I think these things probably take about a good 6 to 7 hours to charge, depending on what type of charge comes on it. It's probably if it's bone dead. So basically this is the user manual, and you can see this is the T88 Plus electronic scooter, in case you were wondering. And the name is Tiff Gallop. Tiff Gallop. So Tiff Gallop T88 Plus scooter. And there is YouTube reviews on these things. Like I said, I did look before I purchased this. So looks like the seat bracket is already installed on here, so I thought that would be something I would have to install, but looks like they already have it on. And all this stuff here, it'll be wise to double check the tightness and everything, because there is some play. I don't know if it's supposed to have play or not, but looks like this just comes up and you get this locking mechanism here. Lock it in place. So once it's locked in place, it's sturdy. So yeah, it probably does supposed to have a little bit of play in there. But once this lever, you push this lever down, it's definitely locked there. It's got some Allen head bolts on here that it looks like you could probably take this whole bracket off if you wanted to. Like this little friction pad might eventually come off, but I don't know. The little edge on it was sticking up a little bit. Alright, so here is another battery charger. So it definitely must have 2 batteries, because they're not going to give you 2 battery chargers just because they want to give you 2 battery chargers. So this obviously has 2 batteries. Comes with 2 battery chargers. So I didn't hear anything about these things exploding like I used to see on different things with these electric batteries, but honestly this powerful scooter, hopefully never have to deal with anything like that, but I'll have to look at any type of safety measures heat-wise, because we live down in Florida, so it does get hot down here. Alright, I guess the handlebars. Alright. This cap is definitely have to go back on once you slide the handlebar mechanism on. Looks like I'm even going to loosen this up more. Right now, it's not fitting. Actually have these tightened up, probably so they didn't come loose, maybe in transit. There we go. So I'm not particularly sure where I'm going to want the handlebars. Obviously I do want them straight, but I'm going to put the cap back on. I think the guy I watched brought him right up to the cap. Now, to me, any type of high-speed wobble you would get on here would be weight distribution, I would say, just kind of like a trailer. When you're towing a trailer, you want the weight towards the front of the trailer. I don't know if that works the same with these scooters or not. I'm not sure it would have a lot to do with the handlebars. Possibly. I guess I can try to eyeball this to get up straight. And right now it's got some play in the handlebars, so I'm not sure what that's from. To figure out what that play is all about. And basically these, another way you can set it up. So you got different adjustment ways you can play with this thing. And this here you even have to center. Try to get them as even as possible. Oh, these Allens are different Allen wrench on those. Different Allen size. This one. not going to super grog them because I'm sure I'm going to want to adjust these things for a comfort level once I'm on it. So I'm just going to get them. But there's like major play right now here, so I'm assuming there's another portion of this that needs to get tightened down. I'm not sure what. I'm thinking it shouldn't have that much play. For now, but it has way too much play. This is like I want to say like an inch of play either way. So, and that's not moving the front tire. So definitely have to figure that out. Let's open up these top things here. See what all that's about. I'll eventually end up digging into the instructions too, but for now, this is one of those scary portions where you don't want to just dig into this thing. This is a hooked blade, so I'm just hooking basically it and not going through everything. Because you're going to cut one of your wires, then you're going to have to mend it. Just purchase something, you don't want to have to start fixing it right off the bat because you did something stupid. I'm not saying like I'm not going to do anything stupid, I'm hoping not. Alright, so this looks like it's your computer slash whatever it's going to be here. It's got your throttle on here too. So we'll have to figure out how this goes. It's got a couple little Allen heads with nuts on the end of them, which I'll just have to figure out how they, it looks like it would go like this, I guess. No, I can't go like that, that wouldn't make any sense. Well, you want the throttle here. Alright, once again, that's what the manual is for, so just trying to figure out certain things that would seem simple. Just got your keys. Here's your ignition right here. So it's got your little keys for the ignition. It's got this little screen here. I have to figure out what all this is for. I didn't watch to see what every little particular thing it does on these things, so. Oh, this thing wiggles around. Maybe that's what it's for. So, if this was back here, it still wouldn't make any sense unless it was underneath that bar. You got your little turbo eco thing here. And it looks like it's got a little Allen key set. So it looks like everything's Allen key on this bike. So that Allen key set should actually work for anything. Just a little helpful hint, the instructions are pretty much horrible. It kind of looks like it starts off, it says installation steps, but then it just tells you basically how to fold the scooter, which I know that's helpful. I mean, it's nice to know how to fold a scooter, but it doesn't really tell you anything about connecting anything up, or, you know, if you have play in the steering, you know, how to take the play out or anything like that. So I'm going to have to try to watch a video now of somebody putting this one together that puts together maybe scooters on a regular basis and try to figure this out. The majority is together. I mean, I'm not going to complain. It's just basically hooking up a couple little directional lights on here, the throttle switch up top, and then figuring out why it has that little play in the steering, whether or not that's supposed to have that or not. But other than that, it looks like it's all together. I'm not sure if there's any shock absorber adjustments or anything that you would do on this thing, but that's where I am so far. So I'm happy that at least I got the thing charging while I'm trying to figure out everything else. So okay, so for the little controller here, you basically, it doesn't tell you in here how it goes, but you take these little, the nut and bolt right here, you take the nut and bolt out that's actually already in this portion of the computer, and basically you take this unit and you put it behind this bracket, so it goes on the opposite side, which eventually will be, see my hand here, this side, not the front. You put it behind it, then you run the bolt through the hole, and this nut goes on the other side of it, and then you just tighten it down. I didn't find it anywhere that this is how you do it, but to me it makes the most sense. So I'm just trying to use some logic here of how it would go before I actually look for a video on how to do this, because there really isn't that much that really needs to get done on this. Most of the stuff is done for you, but I like seeing what I can figure out before I actually read the thing. So I'm going to leave these pretty loose. Well, not super loose, but the nut on the other side actually fits into, it's like a cutout for the nut. So once you put the nut through the back and screw the bolt into the nut's not going to spin on you, because it's like designed in the plastic to fit around the nut in the back. And then basically this here, this is the weird thing, that it's going to be kind of like right there, so your finger actually lifts up on it, which I guess if I move, depending on how you're adjusted on here, I can move this brake lever down, which will bring this computer, I can bring this computer down more, and that will give you more of a straighter throw on this throttle here, because I don't want to be like lifting my finger up in the air to get to the throttle. I want the throttle like directly. So yeah, I think I'll end up bringing this brake lever down just so this throttle here, it's kind of a weird design, to be honest with you. I'm not particularly sure if I'm crazy about it, but I don't know. By looking at the reviews and stuff of people riding these things, I'll live with it, even if that is a shitty design. But it's just, it seems like it could be incorporated differently so that this doesn't interfere with the brake lever. Because right now, basically, if you push it all the way back to give you something halfway decent, it's actually like sitting right on the brake lever. This little, whatever you want to call it, crimping bracket that actually tighten down lock bracket or whatever, if this isn't tight, or if it's not around the right location, that's what's giving me all that steering play. So you got to make sure this bracket is around this metal frame here. There's like a metal frame that this bracket fits around, and this has to be really tight. But make sure your steering seems aligned first before you tighten it, because if you're off, then everything's going to be off. So I tighten this down, and this is tight now, and now I don't have that play. So that's how you gotta eliminate that play, is with this top bracket right here. So if you're steering, if you're wondering, you have the play like I had that play, this bracket was on, but it wasn't tight enough. So it was giving me all that play, which once again, it wasn't explained in any video I watched, that this has to be really tight, clamped around those two metal brackets that are pinching against your bar here to actually stop that play. So if I have to maybe even tighten this down more in the future, I don't know. I got it pretty tight right now. I don't want to go break anything, but yeah, it's really snug right now, and obviously I don't have any play in it, so I'm glad I figured that one out, because that play was ridiculous. Alright, so I took the keys off. They were just basically zip tied on. I cut them off. I inserted a key, turned on the ignition, and all the lights came on. So basically, I can see that at least the lights are all working on it. These headlights seem pretty bright. I'll have to see once I start riding if they're going to be adjusted to the road. They give you two, which is kind of nice. So if you want, you could, if it allows you to angle them, you can angle one closer to your scooter and then one further if you really want, if you want to do it that way. Maybe you can separate them to give you a better spread pattern. But yeah, benefits of having two lights in the front. The other ridiculous bright flashing lights on here, like I said, I mean, it probably is helpful at night so people can see what you're doing. I'm gonna hit the directionals now. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can barely see that, but yeah, that's the, all right, so that's the right one, and that's the left one. So it's not just a stupid little flashing light, it actually gives you the nice kind of, I don't know if these are LEDs or not. I'm assuming everything nowadays is LEDs. So it gives you that nice, smooth, directional pattern. I don't know if you have to really fold these handlebars, but basically they're in two different, it's not a solid handlebar that goes straight across. So basically you have this screw, the center screw mechanism that you line up with the other handlebar. And basically you'd screw it on. I gotta line it up better because it feels like it's not really lined great right now. Yeah. But in any case, this screws on and off, and then basically you can take the handlebars and fold them down, which is kind of a nice other feature to give you for storage purposes. Like, this is going to be in the back of a pickup truck, so it's not going to be in, like, some people might put this in the trunk of their car, even though this is heavy as hell. So, I mean, maybe this would be a good feature. And like I said, I don't know whether or not I need to do this for the back of a truck, break it down to this extent, but I know that I just don't want to cross thread this area. There we go. Tighten this portion bag up. I mean, it's something else you need to check, because if this is not connected good and somehow it backs off on you while you're doing 50 miles an hour, you could have a pretty decent crash. So in this bag or pouch, whatever you want to call it, they give you actually a lock for this thing too, which I'm not sure the quality of this lock, but it gives you ways to reset the combination on it. But it's something else that, I mean, definitely helpful when you have a scooter of this magnitude and you want to leave it somewhere. It would be definitely a good idea to lock the thing. Okay, so the other thing that I decided to throw on was the phone holder. It does appear that I could wedge my phone, and the problem is it would probably fit a lot better if my phone didn't have a case on it, but I have the out-of-box case on my Ultra, so it just barely looks like I could probably squeak it into this thing. And it also gives you some stickers. They're more like padding for, you know, if you don't have a phone case on your phone and you don't want to scratch your phone up, it gives you some padding. I'm not putting that on because I have a case on my phone, and it's probably better to have a case on your phone, because if your phone does ever fall out of this thing and, you know, you're scooping around or whatever like that, you probably damage your phone if you don't have a good case on it. So okay, so real quickly we'll take a look at the Tiff Gallop T88 Plus with the lights on. So basically, when you turn your headlight switch on, the side lights, everything just kind of lights up automatically. So I adjusted my headlights. These headlights on here are super bright. And when I just took it for a spin, I was like, the headlights were like shining way up in the air. But you got two. I was able to use the Allen wrench and lower the headlights on it. So here on the headlight switch, you have basically, you can actually make them flicker. So maybe for the daytime running or something like that, you definitely wouldn't want that at night. So it appears that there's a high and a low beam and a flicker. So that's high beam, that's a low beam, and then you got this flicker motion. It appears that that's how they operate. So just so you know, you click this thing once. When you first turn it on, I think it's going to be on high beams, which is that. Then you turn it off, turn it back on, you're on low beam, turn it off, turn it back on, you're on the flicker mode. So that seems how the lights appear to work. And I just cruised around the neighborhood, and I mean, this thing is fast. Let me use my directionals here so you can see what they look like at night. Left directional, right directional, and I believe, yeah, they even got on the fronts, they even have lights there on the front of the direction. Oh, dang. That was the horn. So when you flick on the directionals, the blue lights appear on the fronts, which I guess helps because this thing doesn't have front directionals. But yeah, that's basically it. And we'll do like a daytime cruise tomorrow. Take it to the store or something. But she's fun. Definitely is fun. Alright guys, so we're going to take a quick little drive around the neighborhood since I got some time. It's probably around 11 o'clock, so I don't think we'll have much street activity. I'm just going to take a ride around the block. But this way you get to see kind of, I don't know if you what you get to see, but I'll demonstrate kind of how the headlights, I got them aimed down, but they're still like, I got the setting right now on low beam, but you'll see how it actually shines like really high up in the air, which would be annoying if like you got oncoming traffic or something like that and you might be blinding a person. So I'm definitely gonna have to figure out something on the headlights to get them to aim down further or something, maybe adjust the bracket or not. But let's take a quick little roll with this thing, and yeah, we'll get to cruise around the neighborhood with it. So alright, here we go.
See how high this thing is. So I think I gotta change modes or something. It's too quick right now. I'm gonna take it off dual motor and I'm gonna put it on single motor. Still fast and single. So you see how the headlight is like way up in the air? It's like, unfortunately, seats going down, but it's shining like way up at that house there. So, and I had these things set like in the furthest down position I could get them, just on the adjustments that, I mean, basically it's just two Allen screws on each side of the lights, and you can pivot them. I pivoted it all the way down, but yet it's still shining like way up in the air. So obviously that I'll have to change something there, because see how I'm lighting up the trees? Yeah. I mean, it's got to come down, because you'll end up blinding somebody. But trying to hold my cell phone and do this recording with dual motors, I crashed already once, and then I almost crashed the second time, because it's way too, as soon as you tag or just touch the throttle, it takes off on you. Without your other hand being on the on the damn steering handlebars, it like just kind of throws the thing in a different direction. But I got this on mode. Oh shit, I'm still in 3. I'm in 3, but I'm on single motor right now. That's why it's still pretty spunky. Try to change this back down to mode 1, so it should be a little easier to handle right now. But yeah, see how high that headlight is? That's, I mean, it's kind of cool if you want, like, and I want to say that's probably, I don't know if this is high or low beam. I can mess around with the switch a little bit and see. That's flicker. It doesn't seem like I'm getting the low beam out of it right now. I don't know if that's because I just crashed or what, but I'm getting flicker. See that one there, it's like alternating the flickers. and then it's just this one bright ass beam, which before I think I was getting low beam out of it. I don't know if I messed up a setting or not, but either way, you can see that this light on this thing is way too much. I mean, you're gonna totally blind people the way this is right now, so that's something there I gotta work on, but I'll try to mount like my GoPro or something on here, because trying to hold the cell phone holder on here would almost work, but where my camera is actually shoots forward, it hits the actual, you wouldn't see a lot of this, so it's windy as hell right now. I'm in like super slow mode, so one motor on level 1. And the funny thing is, on level 1 on this, it's probably faster than most other scooters. So it's definitely probably faster than most scooters just on this mode here, which unfortunately, I mean, I'm messing around with the throttle right now, I'm feathering it, but I mean, definitely, I'll see what I can get. I'm holding down the throttle now. This is at level 1. About 30 kilometers an hour is mode 1 when you're doing this. So, but yeah, I definitely need a GoPro, because trying to hold a cell phone and do this, it's like I'm just waiting to crash again. Just definitely don't try it in dual motor to do that, because it's way too glitchy. As soon as you hit the throttle, it sends you flying, so I should have known better, but and these brakes work super good on this thing. I can't believe I already crashed it. Oh, that's embarrassing. So yeah, so I already crashed that thing. That was great. But it didn't really actually get any damage. I did get, if you can see it there, see I scuffed it up a little there. I can get a little paint or something to put on that. Not a big deal. Once again, this is going to be in the back of a truck, so we handled his first fall like a champ, I guess. Some of this stuff I still got to tighten up, do some more adjusting, but yeah, if I use the cell phone holder here, the camera actually, it would be nice if the camera could actually see through perfectly, but where the lens is, it doesn't. You'd end up seeing a portion of the camera holder, unless I was just rear firing at my face, which I could have done, but then you're not going to see what I was talking about with the headlight. So yeah, the headlights have these little adjustments here, one here, and then one in the center here on each one, which is fun to get at with the Allen wrench. But I mean, they tilt down, but I got to get them to tilt further down, so I don't know if I have to put some kind of spacer in there or something to get them to tilt further down, but I just think those headlights are way too high the way they are right now. But that seems to be my only gripe right now with it, is that the headlights basically are shine a little too high on it. But that's in a nutshell, so at least you got to see me. Oh, I don't know if I'll post my crash or not, but I crashed, and then you get to see how the headlights work. Do not try to use this thing one-handed when you have it on dual motor, because one-handed holding a cell phone and pulling that trigger, it's a catastrophe waiting to happen. You just basically, well, I just had it happen to me. So, all right, hopefully that helps. Thanks.